A little bit of British space history is happening next week in Cornwall. For the first time, the UK is attempting to launch a rocket into space from British soil and send satellites into orbit. The blastoff will take place at Spaceport, Cornwall in Newquay. Britain's space industry is growing quickly, and this is just the first of a number of launches planned from around the UK, as our science editor Rebecca Morell reports.
Coming into land at Spaceport, Cornwall, a jumbo jet with a difference, getting ready to make history. The plane will release a rocket mid-air, which will fire its engines and send satellites into orbit. The first time this has been done from British soil.
Release.
Mathew Stannard will be at the controls.
That's incredible. Huge amount of pride that I get to be involved in this. It's a big deal for the UK. It's a big deal for Cornwall. And the idea that I get to be the pilot on this mission, yeah, it's incredible.
This is what's on board the rocket, small satellites. The UK is a leader in this industry. It's driven the growth of a space economy worth £16.5 billion a year, employing nearly 50,000 people. But until now, British-made satellites had to be sent abroad to launch.
For the first time, the UK has all the pieces of the jigsaw to be able to design and develop satellites, launch them from the UK, operate them from the UK, so we can operate an entire ecosystem in a really fantastic closed loop.
A vital part of that is building rockets. In Cumbernauld, just outside of Glasgow, Skyrora have just opened up a new facility. They're busy working on a prototype before building a larger rocket to launch in the UK. And this is attracting a young workforce.
I think it's a really fast-growing industry. A lot of young people are really interested in this, so really putting a lot of work into working in the industry. And like, for example, me, the hands-on experience as well as designing things, as well as working on all sorts of engineering projects, it's really good.
What you see here really is the start of the UK's space launch industry. The rockets are starting to take shape. And the idea is to bring everything to Britain, from building the satellites to the rockets that carry them and the spaceports where they launch. There are a lot of opportunities, but challenges too.
One of these is building a launch site at the northernmost tip of the UK. In Unst, one of the Shetland Islands, the SaxaVord Spaceport is aiming for the UK's first ever vertical rocket launch. This isolated location's been selected because it means the rocket can fly without passing over populated areas. There's a hive of activity, and the concrete's just set on a launch pad, one of 3 planned.
I think the first response from the locals was probably, maybe it was an April Fool or something like that, and then there's been real excitement about what we've been doing. And there will be jobs. The rocket companies that we're working with already identifying those roles that can be fulfilled by local people, that they don't bring somebody in as part of their team to do some refueling of the rocket, that actually those skills, those people can be trained locally to perform them.
Shetland and Cornwall aren't the only new spaceports. More are planned around the UK, and other countries are doing this too. The global space market is getting increasingly crowded. Not every venture will make it. There's a long way to go for the UK, but the hope is that high risk can bring sky-high rewards. Rebecca Morell, BBC News.